from King's Court, where queens are raised and kings are born. Now, this evening, I would like to touch on a few things that are pretty much funny to the touch, but at the same time, it's disgusting. And I say that because, listen, a lot of us are whimsically thinking that everything in life just belongs to us. Well, we're sadly mistaken. I mean, yeah, have you have right over the things that you choose, but at the same time, are those choices indicative to your creation? So today, I ask you: do you believe that you own your life? Do you believe that you own your life? Really? Do you? Because if it was the case, right, if you owned your life, wouldn't you be able to determine when you're born, when you die, how you live, how you'll die? No, you don't. You have to take into account every moment, learn from it, try to do better the next chance you get. But those chances run out. We think that life is but a funny rhythm. No, it's not. It's not funny at all. Not in one stretch of the word. Not funny at all. We have no control over the next moment. We only can live through to it as best we can. You're not promised near moment in your life. Not 1 second are you promised. So you don't determine whether or not you will live to the next day, let alone the next minute. Because at any moment, your life could be snatched from you. And who will it go to? The owner. The owner. That owner is the one who created you. Of course, yeah, he lets you make all the choices that you choose because he gave you will to be able to choose right from wrong. But you will damn yourself in your choices of wrong. Wrongful doings, wrongful actions, wrongful speech. You can't hide from them at the end of it all. Trust me. There's no hiding. There is no hiding. So I say for one of the biggest issues today, where with birth is being put on the back burner, in a sense, with abortions. That is the one that is really causing the demonic foolishness that is happening in our midst today through our music, television, even in the foods we eat. Change is being made in your everyday life, and you don't even know it. But you want to have control over your physical. You want to be able to make the decisions to choose life or death. You want to be a murderer. Ladies, I'm specificating you. You want to be a murderer. You want to have right over your body to choose whether or not you want to have a child, a gift from God, a gift that you are charged with. And when you abort it, kill it, you have damned yourself for surely to a grievous punishment. So, with that being, you got to understand when a child has been given to you, it's written for it to be existent. And when you abort that right of God, you surely are damning yourself, your soul, for eternity. All because you want to have the right to do what you want to do with your body. You go out here and you have promiscuous actions with men after men after men after men, and you're taking on the imprint of every last single man that you've encountered. You grow a hate that's for men that doesn't deserve it because your picker was messed up. Because you choose with your eyes and your heart, your emotions, rather than your intelligence, rather than your understanding, rather than the facts of getting to know someone for who they are and where they come from. See, because I believe strongly that a man is made up of three things. He's made up of his spirit, his physical, and his lower carnal desires. Now, his spirit is indicative to the connection that he had with his mother. Yes. When in the womb, there's a bond that is built with that woman. And when she births him, instead of her turning to a teat, she turns him to a bottle, separating that bond. So then we wonder why our children don't care for us when they get older. Disrespectful, arrogant, prideful, hateful, because you have separated that bond by not giving them what they supposed to have, the milk from your breast, which is still a part of that bond from the womb. Your womb is a warm place that is held close to your heart for 9 months. He combines his own will with yours. And when he or she is born, they are connected internally. See, even in the womb, you communicate with that fetus. So when you act a fool, your child is being imprinted with that foolishness. When you're cursing like a bandit, that child is being imprinted with that cursing like a bandit. When you're drinking liquor, smoking weed, and all the things that you are doing to poison that fetus, it is imprinted with that. So henceforth, we have the alcoholic man or woman, we have the drug addict, we have the disgruntled, disrespectful child that is no longer yours because the devil grabs hold of him as soon as he comes out the womb, especially when you turn it over to a bottle instead of your teat. God has created this for a child not to be put into a box of Wheaties, some homogenized milk that has been so profoundly compounded with hormonal disarray. So when your child now is drinking this milk, it is beginning to feel separate. Of course, it has an animal's milk in it, an animal's milk. And then your child comes up animalistic, hormonal balance off the Richter scale, mindset no longer in the human state of mind, animalistic. And then the teachings that you give it, that you show it by your examples, you cursing, smoking and drinking, having men after men after men around them. What do you think they're going to feel? What do you think they're going to have in their hearts? We're poisoning our seeds every single day because we think we are in control of everything, when in fact you're destructive of all in your midst. The children are suffering because you don't care to understand the importance of keeping your vessel pure, keeping your mind sharp, using your intellect and not the stupid statements of the devil's whims. For perfect example, some of the dumbest statements that we follow. Oh man, I'm sweating like a pig. Oh, nigga, pigs don't sweat. They really don't. It's the reason why they're the most poisonous animal on the face of the earth. Also, the reason why God forbade for us to eat it. It's poisonous. It's destructive to your body. Hence the reason why some people have to wear diapers after 50 years old. Have to get blood transfusions because they have diabetes. Dying from cancer. And so many other diseases that comes into the body because we just don't know the importance of taking care of us. We eat all these sweet, juicy, fantastic tasting things, but we don't know what's in it. We don't care because it tastes good. That's an addiction, asshole. Stop being addicted to things that are harmful for you. Try to eat more organic foods, fruits, vegetables. Stop wanting to eat these cows because they are hormonally destroyed. They're overused and abused. And then after they get all the milk they can from, and they get to a certain age, they slaughter them. Slaughter them. If you saw how they are slaughtered, you would know that the meat is tainted. And then the things they put them so that they grow huge and fast. Hormonal balances are destructive. Be mindful what you put in your bodies. Be mindful of the seed that you bear in your womb, that you bring into this world. Be mindful of your actions, deeds, and speech while doing so. The foods you eat. Do you know that the canned foods that you buy from the market has a minute amount of poison in it to sustain that product for a long period of time? And this poison entered into your bloodstream for a long period of time destroys your common sense, destroys your cognitiveness, destroys your intellect. It clogs the most important vessels of your brain. Your brain is indeed a computer. It has neural networks just like a computer. Electrodes transfer throughout your entire body to send you abilities to grab, to do this, to blink, to smell, to taste, to speak, to lift, to hold, to feel. Everything is a magnetic charge in your body, an electric pulse. Learn about yourself. Get hold of what you are. Don't let no one guide you wrong. Because God said, I have created you with intellect so that you know. So there will be no excuse. There will be no excuse for you when you're called forth to be judged. When that day comes that your life is taken. It's not by any other means than God has written for it to happen. How it happens usually falls on you and your actions in this world. See, dying by cancer, dying by diabetes, dying by obesity, dying by alcoholism, dying by drug abuse. It's your choices. You will suffer for them. Your choices. You will suffer for them. Wake up, wake up, wake up, my sleeping giants. It's time to arise from your slumber. Learn and understand the importance of your life in this world and in the hereafter. You're not promised anything except for what you have worked for in the right of that promise. We are promised paradise, but only if we adhere to and do what God has commanded us to. You think you're going to just do whatever you want to do and think that Jesus died on the cross for your sins and you're going to make it because of that? No. Clearly, Jesus said that no man will bear the burden of another. This is his words. It's in the Bible. Don't let them fool you. Don't let them fool you with this bullcrap that they're trying to feed to you. Did you know that we were Muslim when we were brought here as slaves? Roots tell it. Amistad shows it. See, Arthur Haley was a staunch Christian. But when he came across this history, he had to share it because he knew it was needed to be known. But you Negroes watched it just as just a movie. No facts, no actual things to live by. But actual facts. You were Muslim, not Christian. You were forced to be Christian by the slave masters to keep you in control. Another factor of what Willie Lynch spoke of. If you don't know about Willie Lynch, you need to pick up a book and learn. Forget them 48 laws of power, that devilish stuff. It's okay to understand so that you understand the devilish people who are going to fight against you on a day that is necessary. But at the same time, you need to fortify your intelligence with clear understanding of truth and a just way of life. We are the peacemakers. So we also have sisters. I need to say this, and I really need to say it so importantly. See, we are contradicting our very way of life. You live in a contradiction every single day you wake. And I say that to be able to extol this. When you choose to put on makeup, you say it's for you. But if it was for you, you would do it at home, and that's as far as it would go. Just to make you feel good for the moment about yourself. But isn't the biggest question is, do you not feel good about who you are, the way you look, what God has blessed you with? If you're not satisfied with that, then you're showing anger to God, dismay with God's creation of you. See, each and every last one of us have been granted a uniqueness, a beauty in its own right. Beauty does not transpire from out, it's from within that makes the outer more beautiful. An intelligent, rational woman is very, very beautiful. She is indeed striving to be a queen. But the one who is loud, outright, ignorant, irrational, delusional, in fact, she is but, as they say, for the streets. She's used and discarded all the time. And then she's having all these children and raising them with the same discord. Hate, confusion. We have to begin to stop this contradictory facts in our lives. We have to start dealing within the realm of truth and being just to ourselves and our neighbors, as God had commanded us in the commandments. Covet thy neighbor. Covet thy neighbor's wife. We're to be protectors of our women, no matter whether in our household or not. Stop saying, ladies, don't you say nothing to my child. Don't you touch my child. Well, granted, sister, if you let your child outside the home and you're not there to supervise them, then they are our children in the community. Hence the statement, it takes a nation to raise a single child. Come on, y'all. Subscribe, like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. We want to support the brands. Alpha Maniacs, King's Court. Support the brands. More to come. I got novels and everything, man. Self-help books, all that coming, baby. I'm trying to do this here. But I need you to understand these simple things that we have to understand that are so important for our future. They don't want us in their future. You see what's happening. They just devised a way to kill off 3 million people. All because they don't want us in their future, man. 3 million was murdered by so-called Corona, which was actually the murdering of the 5G. Yeah, the 5G, the microwaves that emitted from that is causing radiation in our atmosphere. Corona was definitely a catalyst, but the killer is 5G. See, they're ushering in this new world order. Might I digress? We already know we ain't living in AI. We've had a pandemic. And just maybe 10, 11 years ago, we had zombies. You don't remember that? The zombies? Yeah. People trying to eat people. You didn't see that? You don't remember that? How soon we forget. That's one of the self-help books that I got coming. Because we are quick to forget anything. We only live in a moment. We forget anything. And Willie Lynch said it best, man. You put the books in libraries, you will forever have your slaves because they will not seek the truth. Even if they grasp hold of the truth, they'll forget about it because they're whimsical. We are whimsical people. We're lost in this world. Lost, I tell you. We have no direction. We don't even have a place in this world. We don't even have a nationality. We don't even know who we are. We call ourselves Americans. We're not. What is American? What is it? Where did it come from? Do you even know? Who was American? Who was America? What was his name? The dude that supposedly claims he found America. America Rasputin or something. Some Spanish fool. It wasn't Columbus. And Columbus was just a sailor who didn't know where he was going because he thought this was the Indians. This was India. This was the native northern land, the land of Noah, where Noah settled with his people. Yeah. The Kemet people. Yeah, it's a history that you need to understand. It's a lot that you need to know. A whole lot, but you got to wake up. You got to learn. You got to fill yourself with understanding so that you can know your direction for the future. Like I said, they don't have no place for us. They don't want us in their future. They are afraid that we will genetically annihilate them. I keep saying that because it's true. But they don't see it as us being a salvation for them, bringing them back to their originality. Because their father was cursed. His melanin was removed from him. And because of that, he had to run to the Caucasus Mountains. But there's a lot of stories that they're trying to say in reference to that. Now, I wouldn't say believe because a lot didn't determine that to be true. So I wouldn't say that any of it's true, except for the fact that Moses was sent to the mount to civilize them, bring them back amongst the people, and give them civilization again. And that he did. But all the other stuff, Yaqub and all that other, nah, I don't believe in that. Jacob did no such thing. Jacob was nowhere near that mount at any point in time. Only Abraham, as y'all know him. but his rightful name is Ibrahim. But we have to learn to be responsible for our actions, y'all. And our choices are just wicked, man. We make some of the most stupidest choices. I mean, it's for certain reasons, but we got to begin to start utilizing our intellect again. God gave us that for a good reason, great reason, in fact. Ladies, you have to stop believing that abortion is the way. If you're having unprotected sex, then be responsible enough to bring that child in full term and raise it with the father prevalent. I don't care if he is, you know what I'm saying, somebody you couldn't stand to look at him. You have to make amends for the betterment of that child. Now, I'm not going to say that one who is raped should not have that right to make a choice, because we definitely don't need no more sick and demented children amongst us, because she will birth that child with nothing but hate, and that child will come in this world with nothing but hate in his heart, in his very DNA. Yes, you can pass your hate to your child. You can pass your ignorance to your child. It can be unlearned. Mind you, it can be unlearned. But you have to start thinking past your ignorance, your own self ignorance. It's important. Our children are suffering because of your actions. Our children are suffering because of your actions, ladies. The father must be prevalent. We cannot no longer allow that missing link to disrupt the children's lives. They need to be able to make the decision of whether or not they want to be like him or not to be like him, with a certain guidance still the same. Like I said, we have to find ways and means to understand better about who we are and where we are to direct ourselves in life. Seek knowledge and wisdom and understanding. It's very important. Seek knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. For those of you who still have your grandmother, your grandfather amongst you, question them, ask them, get understanding, learn. For those of you who have good abilities to comprehend, go to the libraries, study, learn. Your phones are moments away from being able to gain any information. Just ask Google. Knowledge is at your fingertips. You have no excuse. You look up the most stupidest things on Facebook or the internet for the dumbest stuff, World Star and all this other foolishness is wasting your time. You're wasting your time. You're wasting time. Trust and believe you will be judged on that waste of time. You will be asked that question. There's some questions you need to understand that you will be asked on the day that you are to be judged. Who is your Lord will be the first one. And if you foolishly say Jesus, you will go straight to the hellfire. Because clearly Jesus was a man. He said it himself. When Mary Magdalene went to wipe the juice off his feet, and y'all know that, he said to her, "Get thee up, child. Give not praise unto me, for I am only a man of my own accord. Give not praise unto me. Give praise only to thy Lord, for he is worthy of all praise and thanks." Clearly, this was his statement. And he said in that statement twice, "I'm only a man." So again, a man cannot die for your sins. and trust and believe God will not allow one of his prophets to be harmed by men. Just look in Revelations. Remember, Jesus spoke in parables. Revelations, all parables. And that was some 10 to 30 years after he supposedly died on the cross. You know, you got to use your intellect so that you know common things, really, really simple things. I really wish I didn't destroy the Bibles that my grandmother had, which was the 5th and 6th edition. I got put out of 6 different churches because of that. Because the truth was there before they started rewriting it many more times. Hence the reason why, what is his name? Nat Turner turned another cheek because he learned those truths and he shared it with the slave owners, the slaves. He kept it in secret. He learned those truths and he shared it with those slaves. So they revolted because they knew right then and there, this was crazy. We're not following this ignorance again. Jesus said in the Bible, in John, verse 16 through 16, verse 18 through 21, I believe it was, if I'm not mistaken, it may be 17 through 21. He said, I know of a time, he said, I know that you worry of a time to come. Worry not, for I am leaving you, but you are to follow the one who will come after me. For then he went into explanation of his character. He's a just man, a savior. And then he said that he's unlettered. Well, the Prophet Muhammad couldn't read nor write, but he came forth with the Quran in its language that could not be tampered with by no one, even though it was amongst the Arabic-speaking people. Even their language could not change one iota of it, even to the day. It's been protected by God. Not one linguist on the face of this earth has been able to change it because God is true. He says and in the Quran, he dares them. If any of you are truthful, change but one iota of my words, for surely you will find yourself to be the losers. Still to this day, not one linguist on the face of this earth has been able to change one iota of Allah's word in Quranic Arabic. Not one. Not one letter or anything. Can't change none of it. It's protected. So, we have to leave off this delusional thinking, ladies. Thinking that you are the prize, that you are the cream of the crop, that you are the best of the best, that man should grovel for you, he should crawl to your knees. No. No man should crawl. No man should be thought to be but a mere mortal to you. Now, granted, men, we are to cherish the woman who is a queen, but not the one who was so disgusting in her wanting to be everything that she sees. She makes herself up. She puts on all these provocative clothes to show herself off for every man to validate her. So she'll tell you, nah, it's because I want to look good. I want to feel good about myself. Well, if that's the case, then you would love who you are. You need makeup, boob busters, and butt imprints or whatever they call it. This BBW stuff, WB, whatever it is, it's stupid. It's stupid. Now, if you have augmented your body, so when you get older, you'll look stupid. Your natural look is going to be destroyed. Makeup destroys your skin, destroys your brain, in fact, because that chemical is entering into your skin. The closest part of your body, your brain. Wake up. Stop being foolish. You don't need makeup to look better. See, you're trying to compete with all these other geishas to win the hearts of men. This is the reason why men do not trust you, because you are wearing masks. You're living in delusion. You have been raised to believe that Prince Charming will come and sweep you off your feet. Then when it doesn't happen, then you act ignorantly towards any man. You treat men like they're shit. So, of course, men bite back. You want us to be animals? We'll be animals. You want us to chase? We'll chase like an animal. And when we get that prize, you got. This is the mind state that we have gone into because of the ignorance that we are putting there. Yeah. So man is like, okay, well, you want to play these stupid games, delusional, asinine thoughts. But yeah, all right, well, I'll just fuck you and leave you alone. I don't have to deal with it. But it's not right. It's not right. No, man, it's not right. Just don't deal with them. You ain't gotta fuck them and leave them alone. No, fuck them dumbass songs, stupid shit. That's stupid shit. Stop following that stuff. Use your own intellect. You have been given intellect so that you know, and you know right from wrong. You know that stuff is wrong. Listen, I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I'm a better man today. I'm not just here to fuck. Who wants to just fuck? Every man wants to fuck. But the bottom line is, what are we here for? We're here to procreate. We're here to further life. And we're here to worship the one who created all that exists. Simple. It's not hard. We make it hard because we choose of the things that of the worldly life. We want to fixate ourselves on doing what we want to do. We think we are in control of our very existence. We're not. We're in control of what we say. We can control that only to an extent, because that can be stopped too. Trust me, there's been a whole lot of individuals who used to be able to speak their minds, and now they uttering a bunch of gibberish. They don't know nothing that they're talking about. Dumber than dumb. Perfect example. Some of these preachers out here, they have for so long preached the word of God. Now they're speaking nothing but the words of the devil, the shaitan, fooling you, suckering you, drawing you in. Pass the blade around. I'll give you a word. I'll sell you for a price. Well, God completely said, do not sell my word for a price. And this is what they do. Got you fooled. Got you believing that you are a Christian. No, you're not. That wasn't Jesus' way. Jesus ain't never said nothing about no Christian. Do you know that the Christian crusaders were Romans? And they came to destroy and murder off all the true exegesis of Christ? They were the massacrers of the people who followed Jesus Christ. All for them to take the books, because Paul, named himself Saul, went to King Constantinople and said, if you ever want to keep your slaves, let's consolidate the books, and they will always follow, because they knew that our greatest strength was our faith. So those of us who stayed Muslim were doing great. Had places like Timbuktu and a few others that were great parliaments that the Roman emperors revered, because the warriors, they controlled even the animals that would eat you. Yeah, the Zulu nation controlled the lions in war. The Maasai nation controlled the worst dog on the face of the earth. You may not know who they are. Well, let me tell you. Them little hyenas, yeah, they controlled them and used them in war. So that was an understanding that the land was being taken by a people who were unrighteous, and God, being the best of disposers of all affairs, he let it be so. And the animals sided with the human to fight against this devil, the colonizer. So when they was unsuccessful, they used those who was beguiled by the trinkets and the guns and all the shiny things that they saw that was different from anything else that they could muster up from the land's gold, silver, and diamonds. And they decided to go against the Muslims who ruled. And they started to enslave them, capture them for the colonizer to bring back to the States, Spain, and a few other places. When they took them to Sierra Leone, they would be shipped to many different places. 6 million died in that embargo. Only 3 million survived to come here and be traded and bartered as slaves. So, you must take back your birthright. Wake up, wake up, wake up, sleeping giants. It is your time to rise. This is King's Court, where queens are raised and kings are born. I'm your host, Rashid Nori, and I stand firm on all that I say because it is truly yours to understand. Have peace, prosperity, and become kings and queens in this land. And don't forget, y'all, subscribe, share, comment, because your comments matter. They will make the difference in the days to come, the years to come. I will not ignore them. What you feel is what I feel. We are human. And believe in that hue. There is neither white nor black. In that hue, there is neither white nor black. So stop considering yourself a black man or black woman. They're not white men or white women. No. We have pigment and coloration, and it's of that hue. So stop it with the separatism. We're human, all of us. Blood of each other's blood, bone of each other's bone, flesh of each other's flesh. We all have in certain factors that are important, that are indicative to each individual. It's a fingerprint in DNA. And then your eye retina. Each individual has 3 things that are indicative, that is truly different from every single other human being on the face of the earth, or that is to be born for the rest of eternity in existence. So be ever mindful. There's much to learn. Begin studying, learning, persevering in this life so that you may gather a life in the hereafter in peace and prosperity there, and not the denizens of the hellfire, because you're surely leading there by your abortions, by masking, lying, being deceitful. These things are not our way. It's the way of those colonizers who have now infiltrated our lifestyles, taken from us the true way of life that God has set forth. So enough of that. Be at peace. Love your brother and sister. Stop being ignorant towards one another so that our children can survive what's coming. New World Order is in destruction of us all. I salute you. One love. Your brother Rashid Nori. I'm out.